start? Did you have something
No.
start off with?
No, I was just gonna.
So I think someone put a dream catcher outside our windows
Where at?
in the tree
Mm.
by our window. You'll have to look out, not your side window, but the
Mm.
window by your headboard.
Mm-hmm.
Because I looked out there yesterday. Because I've been having a lot of dreams recently.
My dreams
Especially-
have been off the rails.
Okay, good. So you're experiencing it too. So I was playing video games yesterday, and or 2 days ago, and I look out to my right, and I just see something in the trees waving back and forth, and it looks like a freaking dream catcher. So I feel like that's what's doing it. Someone is toying with us, or maybe
Yeah.
they put it there because they live beneath us. And
Yeah, I've been having some off the rails dreams, and last night I kept waking up in the middle of my sleep. I think because of my fan. So I had like 5 different dreams. It kept being different.
That's kind of crazy. You were jumping through.
I did not.
Dream
I was
universe.
jumping through dream universes. I was jumping through Hollow Earth. Let's tell my dad about that. I'm like, if you watch, you're gonna find out there's a Hollow Earth.
You're like, did you watch? Oh, you watched Kong and Godzilla with us, right? You were here, yes. Okay, it's like Kong when he was going through to the Middle Earth, just jumping through different dimensions. That's kind of crazy. Damn, you were going from dream to dream.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh man, a lot of rain today. I love spring rain. Scattered storms, lightning, thunder.
Yeah.
Perfect. People enjoy people watching. I enjoy storm watching. Storm chasing is a whole nother thing.
That's the Kansas in you.
Mm.
Yeah, I think as I got older, I realized, I do like rain. Rain's nice here and rain is nice. Now I'm still not the biggest fan of like lightning,
Right.
The neighborhood we used to live, actually that neighborhood where my elementary school was, Raj lives there, and there's a lot of people I grew up with live there. That neighborhood was notorious for like once a year, one house's roof would get struck by lightning. So
Was it a metal roof?
a metal roof? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But like you would see the blue tape. It looked like blue tape. Now I don't know if it's blue tape, but all over the houses and all that. And once it was kind of close. We were at the end of the cul-de-sac, literally the middle end of the cul-de-sac. You went to the beginning of the cul-de-sac. You turn left, like third house on the right. So
Okay.
it was
You drove
a
by
few
town.
houses away. This lightning hit, and I remember that lightning. My mom jumped on her bed, head on the bed. She was scared. It looked like a whole typhoon. Like the rain was all over the windows, and it was crazy.
Too close for comfort. I like that.
Close for comfort, but you gotta think that's pretty close. And I remember there was once kind of, I don't know, behind our house, so in like another cul-de-sac or another section of the neighborhood. But it was notorious for it happening. I think I knew someone who I grew up with who his house in middle school ended up getting hit by lightning.
His house or him?
No, his house.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's why I was always scared, because now my house or my dad's, I'm on that top floor, so I hear lightning. Like if it hits me, like what's gonna happen?
Your lights will flash on, something crazy.
Yeah.
You'll turn into static shock. He's a superhero. Have you ever been caught in like a crazy storm or maybe like a tornado? Not caught in an actual tornado, but that driving out when the sky is like yellow and red.
No, I don't drive
Just
out
crazy.
if there's a tornado. There have been times where I maybe was a little too scared than I needed to be, but we've had our times where we've gone to the basement, like we've taken
Shelter.
we've taken shelter. Yeah, I think that last few weeks ago, I don't know if the tornado touched down. It was a small tornado. If it appeared, but it was kind of close to my dad's. It was around 143rd and Flum, they said.
A small. Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
It was a small one, and there was once one that hit around the Chipotle that I go to, 135th and Metcalf, when we were in high school. No, we were in middle school, I think.
It hit
because we had to go. We had to go in our basement of the middle school. That was crazy. Tornado drills are crazy. You remember they would make us do this in elementary school? Why? What's our hand gonna do? You think the tornado's gonna come down? Oh shoot, we see those hands.
Can't be around glass windows, but you can be around them.
It's like swipe or no swiping. That's what it does.
Go down into the lower level, the basement of the school, and everyone would be lined up, laying with their head in their laps. How's that going to stop like a cement wall from falling on you if a tornado struck, or metal lockers just falling on you? I mean, back then when they were concerned about the nuclear warfare, they just had. Did you ever watch those videos?
They went under the chair.
Just went under the chair or desk. Like, it's just a plan to make us feel to trick our minds and feel like we're comfortable. Uh-oh. I don't know why our Wi-Fi hit there for a second. I remember one time it was me and Josh, our families were camping. I'm pretty sure it was during Memorial Day weekend. And we had a base and we camped out. So whenever we had like tournaments that were an hour, 2 hours away from where we lived, we always just camped at a nearby site. So I can't remember exactly what the tournament was, but we were coming back from one of the games, and it was just a torrential downpour, lots of rain, tons of rain, and so much rain where you couldn't even see like a foot in front of you if you were driving. So our dads were up front, and we were in back seats, and we were driving on the other side of the road for like a good 5 minutes. And the only way that they realized that is because we had stopped to look at where we were exactly on the road. We were looking at the paint and whatnot, the lines, and yeah, we had crossed over onto the other side of the road. It was that much rain. And then when we got back to the campground, the storm, it was so bad already that the winds were high, and of course so much rain that we had to go into like the bathrooms and take shelter, because that was like campground rules, I guess, for where we were staying at. So it always makes for a good story at the end of the day. I can remember times where we had to, we were out at 3 and 2, and the skies would be turning yellow, and it was like they had to call off games, or we had to go sit in the cars and wait for storms to pass by because couldn't play baseball out in the rain. Lots of waiting. Good times, man. That's why I'm happy the Royals are in Cleveland today. So I don't think Cleveland's having any problems weather-wise. They're coming, especially with the game 2 hours away. Let's see, Cleveland weather for today. Oh yeah, sunny and 72. That's gonna be great. Oh, it's a slow day for Coffee's On.
Yeah, no one's here. How many do we have viewers?
We got one viewer. Thank you.
Oh, good. Wow, no one's here, huh?
Might as well just talk to ourselves. I had
Well, let's see what.
I had some national championship recap.
What's some random things we could talk about that no one would care about? What would we talk about if the cameras weren't on?
Obviously, storms. Being that, no one cared about the storms. Did you see anything interesting on Twitter today? Gotta love it.
I don't think so. I'm just on Twitter right now. See,
it's National Beer Day.
National Beer Day?
It's not really beer weather on this National Beer Day. Oh, you know what's happening right now? Travis Goff's introduction press conference, as he is being introduced as the KU athletic director. Bill Self and Emmett Jones are both in attendance as well, according to the Lawrence Times. So I was looking up. Oh, go ahead. No.
What were you saying? I had nothing about him.
Oh, I was gonna say it's a pretty good hire. He served under Jim Phillips, who is now the ACC commissioner. He was the previous Northwestern athletic director, and I found this out too. The football program has 6 total bowl wins in their history. They're 6-11 in bowl games. 5 of those came while he was serving as the deputy director of athletics and vice president. While he was the tenure there.
Okay.
And so, and the three major sports that he kind of oversaw and dealt with as far as with donorships and development were baseball, volleyball, and football.
Okay.
So I see that as like, all right, I feel like now the next step for KU athletics with him is, man,
You know, I think with college athletics, everyone
It's-
focuses basketball, football. I think it's good to look at, okay, it's not a dream world. You can't be great at every sport. But what's
Yeah.
two other sports maybe that you can be good at? Volleyball, soccer. We have women's soccer. We have volleyball. We have baseball. We have softball. Right?
Yeah.
We've had some top volleyball teams. We've had a baseball team that made it far a while ago.
softball's been kind of quiet, but
Softball's time hopefully is coming. We've had some top track and cross country athletes. We've
Yeah.
had some top track and field athletes. So, as a whole, KU athletics, isn't bad. But if you can kind of move them up top, maybe make another one of those sports. They call them the Olympic sports. One of the Olympic sports kind of, I don't know, at a top level.
get that rowing team going.
Consistent top level. Sure, maybe the rowing team. I mean, if you think about it on a money aspect, even if it is, your lowest money making sport, if you are a perennial national champion, you're still a national champion.
Yeah.
And you're still going to be making some money. At least you'll be making the most money from that sport. And that can bring in more students, maybe bring in more of those athletes, and you can expand on that. And I don't know if future sports is the direction of Kansas athletics, but
well, no, I think you said it right there with the Olympic sports and the sports that aren't football and basketball. They still need money too. They still need donor and booster support, and I think that's another big reason why they hired someone like Goff, because he was a part, and this was coming on his Wikipedia. I think it was from the KU press release, one of the two. He was a part of $200 million infrastructures that were built at Northwestern during his tenure. So I think as far as, bringing back fans, donorship support for the football program, because it does need its support, but also if you can build avenues of donorships and more support for the other sports that you just mentioned, then that's going to be huge for not only KU's athletic, but for the university as well. Mm-hmm. And that was something that I saw in a tweet. Someone had described when they asked someone in the house about Goff. They asked him, "Do you like him as a person?" And they said, "Love him."
yeah,
I love him as a. I love
Mike Vernon. Yeah,
okay.
And it seems like Mike Vernon's the guy for KU News.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you follow Mike Vernon, you're going to get the first thing about KU stuff, because he's been on top of things. I've been talking about him since he tweeted that Bill Self didn't like the guy whose name I can't even remember. But I haven't been able to remember.
Is it a reporter or is it?
No, the last athletic director.
Oh, Jeff Long.
I keep forgetting his name.
It's good to just forget those names, man.
And that's honestly not on purpose, but it isn't the first. It's like the fifth time these last 2 weeks I forgot his name. But
because what did he do memorable here?
You're right. Yeah.
At the time, hiring Les Miles, but now it's like
he honestly reminded me of The Office. He really did. I really thought we hired like Steve Carell from that's really what he was.
There you go.
But
that's a good comparison.
He had said on April 1st that reports say Bill Self. All these things are sources say, reports say, whoever it is. And again, it's just one reporter, former BR guy, so Bleacher Report guy. So, some people say, is he verified? Who knows? But at least this is what one person is saying. And April 1st, he had said that Bill Self isn't a fan of Jeff Long. April 4th, I think it's 3 days later, March.
Mm-hmm.
I meant March 1st.
No.
And then March 3rd or March 4th was when the Les Miles stuff come out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think within a week from that March 1st tweet, both of them are out. I'm not saying one cause that just is coincidences, but
his name
said that, I started thinking, okay, who are you going to keep? And we've had that talk many times on and off camera, when it's Bill Self versus Bill Self wins.
Yeah.
So
Mike Vernon, the guy that you mentioned, I think he was also the one that first broke out the news about Goff coming to KU as the next athletic director.
On Saturday, he had said he's 80% confident, 83% confident it's going to be Goff. Some people even reported it and gave the credit to Lawrence Journal World when he had been actually talking about it throughout the week. So And he had been mentioning people, and some guy he's mentioning is Buffalo's coach that some people are starting to like, a Buffalo's head football coach. And, at first I was kind of against him, but after looking at his again, it is Buffalo, and I understand that.
They have hired KU's past with hiring Buffalo's
but
coaches.
If you look at his stuff at Buffalo, he hasn't been just good at Buffalo. He's been great at Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And the one argument is the MAC has a lot of Ohio teams. And so if you can hire what he mentioned from those teams' backyards, you can hire from them, recruit, not hire.
Right.
Recruit, the same thing. But if you can recruit, from them, their top players, maybe that shows that you can kind of compete with recruiting. And not every D1 coach, not every Power 5 coach came from a Power 5 school. So maybe this is the guy. Not get a coach who's been 3 years removed from the game. Another person they mentioned is Todd, is one of the Monkins. I think one Monkin is a head coach at Army, and the other Monkin is an offensive coordinator at Georgia. And he was an offensive coordinator at the Browns and the Buccaneers before. Maybe that is someone, right? Get a coordinator from a top college team. I don't know how I feel, because KU has also hired someone who's had some football coordinating experience before. So, but maybe, these are different people and you don't judge them by their backgrounds. But, that's looking ahead. All in all, I do think they should at least give the interim coach. Yeah. I woke up early, but I was in bed, so my brain's still working on words and names. But
Emmett Jones.
They think they got to keep that passing coordinator. At least give him a year. It seems like the players like him, the donors like him. Because when Jeff Long said the defensive coordinator, I believe, was the interim head coach, they did not like that. They wanted him. They wanted Emmett Jones. So give Emmett Jones a year. He deserves it. Young guy, knows at least the program, the team, and they are recruiting players. The Twitter account always says they're recruiting players. Now, are they 2-star, 3 stars? Who knows? Mm-hmm. But if you can get people excited to play Kansas football, maybe that's one thing. Maybe excitement can at least. We aren't looking to get into, 10 wins next season. Maybe excitement can win you finally 4 games. And then you move from there, 4 to 6, get in a bowl, 6 to 8. 8, you're kind of contending, and then who knows? Maybe one day when we got gray hair, maybe they're in one of those orange bowls again. Maybe that happens. But you got to start somewhere.
I was big on letting Emmett Jones remain as the interim head coach, because I feel like with KU football now, there's more things to worry about than winning. And when you've gone 10, 11 years with the state of the program that it's been at, I think getting looking at your roadmap for your 5-year plan for the program and moving some pieces around is very vital, since nothing has worked the last 10 what I said 10, 11 years. And so I know we're keen on Emmett Jones staying as interim coach, because maybe just take that process a little slower. But if bringing in someone like Goff, maybe, who's been a part of 9 head coaching searches, wasn't part of the Pat Fitzgerald regime at Northwestern. He was hired on in 2006, but he was there when Fitzgerald signed his 10-year extension this February, so a couple months ago. So if the season starts in September, you have the summer programs kicking up. Maybe Emmett Jones can be your guy to get the players ready for the next guy who comes in, because maybe they do find someone in the next 2 months. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't also, which is fine, because like we said, we like who's there right now serving as the interim. I'm curious to see, because I don't know what the next steps are for Travis Goff as he comes in as a new athletic director, but it seems like obviously KU, when they like someone, they hire him quick. I mean, look at the turnaround. They found their new athletic director in just a month.
You're right. Yeah.
Maybe they can find the next head coach in that same time frame, or 2 months, something like that. I don't know. I really don't know. But Emmett Jones right now is definitely the guy that you want there, because he is well liked and respected by the players. You know who also wins on this hire?
Who?
William Allen White, journalism school.
You're right.
The 2002 journalism grad. They are not journalism majors are not just reporters. They're not just people who start podcasts and random YouTube channels.
So what's his timeline? What was his timeline? 2002, he graduated. He wasn't a former athlete?
I don't believe so. Let me
Okay,
look it
so
up.
was he in like endowment stuff and all that?
I had it pulled up earlier. Let me find it really quick. It was on the KU's press
I did
release.
not tell my dad that we hired athletic director who was a journalism major because I knew I was about to get a life lesson. Anything is possible. I could be the new athletic director. All this. He did, I guess a journalism guy got hired, so we got something in common with him.
So he served before Northwestern, he served as the Associate Athletics Director for External Affairs at Tulane.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, he worked in the athletics development at KU,
Okay.
where he also earned his undergraduate degree, which was the
Okay.
So he worked in the athletics development while earning his journalism major. So that journalism degree, that tie-in right there, went to go work at Tulane and then joined Northwestern 2011. Hey, you know what? It's not called the School of Communications, Mass Communications for nothing. Journalism majors know how to conduct research. They know how to form, build, and maintain relationships through communication, thus the school itself. I feel like that right there, I love expanding the definition of what a journalist entails. It's not just someone who works for a newspaper, TV, radio outlet. It's not just people who work in PR, advertising, marketing. It's much more than that. Think of when you put all of that stuff together. Think of when you have imagine someone who gets a journalism degree in both respected areas at KU, whether it's news and info or Stratcom. That's someone right there that is kind of like a Swiss Army knife that knows like I said, that knows what goes into advertising, market strategies. Not only that, but someone also how to communicate,
what to say, how to say it.
business relationships, business vocabulary. Because you were a Stratcom major, you weren't working with KCTV5, Fox 4.
No,
you weren't planning strategies for news outlets. What were you guys were doing it for businesses,
nonprofits, local nonprofits,
right? people who need to raise money, nonprofits, businesses for profits. The one that comes to the top of my head because our former roommate Sam was working for it was Wiener Schnitzel. That's when he was working as ad campaigns for that company. So it's someone like him coming in who obviously we saw was a journalism major, but also touched his toes into the athletics department as a developmental person. That right there is someone that I can see is a really good fit for something like KU situation where you're going out and looking for the right hires. You got to know the people that you're hiring. Jeff Long, we don't know for sure if he knew about Les Miles' past at LSU, but he certainly did not know who he was hiring, or he did know who he was hiring. Like I said, we don't know when Les Miles came to KU.
Maybe we should have seen that coming. Like I said, now looking back, like no one was speaking bad of it, and I can say that I had a thought when I was in the Kansan room, but still. I didn't say anything of it. No one said anything of it. We should have thought what happens when you hire an athletic director who has been out of the job? What happens when you hire a head coach who's been out of the job? When both guys are old guys.
Yeah.
And maybe do a little health evaluation, not a football evaluation, but a health evaluation. And that's actually serious. You see this guy, you're not gonna hire.
Les Miles was not a good communicator.
So those are the things. But it is what it is. My dad always said, if you can't learn from other people's mistakes, you learn from your own mistakes.
Right.
Sometimes it takes a lot of mistakes, and he tells me that 30 times because I do make a lot of mistakes. But at one point, KU's gonna learn. So hopefully it happens. And I think no, he wasn't. Mangino was a fan of the Army guy, but it was going to take a lot of money to bring the Army guy here, the Army Associate Athletic Director.
Gotcha.
But
keep things in check.
Yeah, but anyways, that's what it is. That's what it is for the NFL. A little day in history. You know what today's date is? April 7th.
What happened today in history?
Let's see. It's 2021.
Yes. Is this the first modern day Olympics?
Let's see. Where were you? Where were you 13 years ago?
13 years ago. 10 years old. I was probably sitting in my 4th grade classroom right now, my 5th grade classroom. Reading,
So fourth grade,
reading,
right? April 7th, because if it's April, it was 4th grade, right?
yeah.
What year was it?
13 years ago would be 2008.
What happened April 2008? What happened April 2008?
Mangino was fired.
No. That was 2010. Let's see. Think April 2008. He's dribbling up the court. He's dribbling.
Oh my goodness.
Gives it to Mario Chalmers. We're going to overtime.
That happened.
13 years ago today. The Kansas Jayhawks won the 2008 national championship game. I walked you through. You told me where you were. You said you were in 4th grade. It was 2008. You were at home. You said living room, and I bet you were in the living room.
Not at 10:27.
10:27 p.m. maybe. Trip down memory lane.
No, we can talk about that. I remember sitting in my living room watching that game. We watched it all the way through, of course. No school the next day. We all got to wear.
No school the next day. What?
Yeah, they canceled school
What?
because KU won the national title.
They didn't cancel school for us.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. That stinks. Obviously, your house was probably more exciting than what was going on in my house. We were just watching the game, obviously, but
More or less, yeah. My house went through a roller coaster of emotions.
Talk about it.
I think I've told you about this before. We talked about it, but it was my mom was in a room, so it was just me, my dad, and my brother. So my brother was pretty little at the time, and KU's losing. We don't have to say that. KU was losing for a while, by a lot. And how my dad explains it is he's sitting, and Arian's sleeping on his lap, and he says on one lap Arian's sleeping, and on the other side Armand's crying because I was crying, and he tells me because I was crying, he says, "Go to your room." And I remember this very vividly. I walk out to the living room. I look at my steps. I put one foot on the step. And I think to myself, no, Armand, you can't go upstairs. You got to finish this game. So then I came back, sat down. You go to that break just over 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They're still down 9. What does my dad do? He does something he'll always remember, and he never forgets to tell us. Starts doing 20 push-ups. He does 20 push-ups. And what happens? They start coming back. They come back. We know the whole ordeal. They're missing their free throws. They had that Derrick Rose 2-pointer that Calipari wanted as a 3-pointer and whatnot. Right? So Dad did his push-ups, and all of a sudden, what happens? Go into overtime. And I don't think my dad stopped doing those push-ups. And we know what happened in overtime. Yeah. And I remember as soon as they went, I took my number 5 jersey off. We were all super excited. It was a big thing. And then since then, anytime KU or the Chiefs or anyone's losing,
yep.
And my dad's still in a good mood because the Super Bowl was a different story. He's doing the push-ups. Now he's on the elliptical while watching games. During the KU Duke game, when it was the Elite 8 game a few years ago, my dad was on that elliptical that we have from the second half through the end of overtime.
Yeah.
He just didn't get off. Because he does believe that when you watch the games, it's good to do a little activity. And he doesn't say he believes in superstitions, but
he really deep down he does.
Deep down he does.
It's okay to admit that, Dr. Al.
That was kind of I have explained that before, and it was a good time. It was 13 years ago, so you're right. It was 2008, but there are a lot of other teams in the region that are still waiting for that national championship in whatever sport, or waiting for that BCS Bowl or college football playoff bowl in whatever sport. So at least we have those two,
Your dad is the Energizer Bunny for when KC sports teams are down.
Mm-hmm.
He hops on that elliptical and he gives them. There's a fuel line that you don't see underneath his house that goes to wherever KU, Chiefs, Royals are playing at.
You're right, and it's for all the. You're right. It is.
What did he do? What did he do during 2014, 2015 Royals times?
remember we were getting into watching baseball, and my dad grew up as not a baseball fan.
Right.
So I don't know what workout he did, but I very well remember that athletics game, the wild card game, because we were juniors in high school. So I was trying to study for this AP test.
Okay.
But I had the computer open watching the game cast on ESPN studying. And, they're down. The innings. So it's 6th inning, 7th inning, they're down. And all of a sudden I see them coming up. They're coming back, and they're coming back. And my dad wasn't kind of letting me watch. Remember, my dad didn't grow up a baseball game. In fact, was confused by the sport. Basically, from 6th inning or whatever, maybe 5th inning through end of the game. What was it, 14 innings? 13 innings?
13, 14, yeah.
He did not get out of his seat to get a cup of water, to go to the restroom. This is a guy who doesn't, baseball isn't part of our family.
Yeah.
Arian was sleeping. As soon as we win, as soon as Perez hits that across third base, Arian, this is him, sleeping, immediately gets up with his hands in the air.
He saw it in his
He
dreams.
saw it in his dreams. And I was watching, the end, and my dad's telling me while watching the TV, right? He's watching TV, like, Armand, you got to go to your room. You got to go to study. But I had my little book acting like I was studying. Even if we weren't growing up as baseball fans, of course, that was still our city's team.
Oh, yeah, you got to have pride for your city, yeah.
And I always kind of considered myself, I don't know, kind of bandwagon, kind of not, because I did follow. You'd want to make sure how the Royals were doing. When we lived in California, 2009, it was after what's-his-face won the Cy Young, right?
Yeah,
I had
Greinke.
my little Royals. Yeah, Greinke had my little Royals hat. Because it was San Francisco, and I was telling them jokingly like Royals, and people were making fun of the Royals. So I kind of jokingly told my teacher, like, everyone's making fun of the Royals. What did she tell me? I can't help you with that.
That's got to be the greatest day that teachers
So
ever
regardless if
teach.
we did watch, that was still our city. So, I would keep up. And I remember when we were there in California watching one of those shows on ESPN. They was on like Sundays. They had the four journalists kind of tell their stories. And one guy mentioned like, what if this year's the Royals' year? It wasn't in 2009, but what if it is? So, I just recently, just over the last few years, after that through those 2 World Series runs and, the seasons that kind of sandwiched it, watching more baseball. Remember last year I was really watching regular season games, and this year, keeping up, watching at Easter breakfast. I kind of had my phone pop because the game was starting, trying to see where they were at. And, today's game's at 12, right?
Oh, yeah, today's game's at 12. We get to see Jacob Junis. Oh, well, first off,
Uncle Maury.
Good morning, Uncle Maury.
Good morning.
We're glad that you are enjoying the show today.
You're our first commenter, so
yes,
we appreciate it.
Thank you very. I love the emojis.
He loves those emojis.
Very spring. The flowers will be blooming after these April showers.
Persian New Year, right, is the first day of spring. So spring is here. It's been here for 2 weeks. We already celebrated the 13th day. You guys told me happy 13th day.
You had a good 13th day.
I didn't go to Shawnee Mission Park like every Persian in Kansas City does. But
really?
Oh,
I didn't know about that.
On Sunday, on that Sunday that's around the 13th day, you go to Shawnee Mission Park or whichever shelter, to every Persian, everyone.
You throw a party.
But I think he was probably my only family member who was there because, my grandparents are in Iran right now, so I didn't have anyone there. But me and Lily did go to the park this weekend, so I kind of said, that was my informal.
There you go.
The whole meaning of the days to go outside, spend time in nature, food, friends, family.
That was a good outdoor day.
And it was a good outdoor day. The weekend was a good
yes.
weather. So
yes,
perfect weather. And it always kind of coincides with Easter.
It does.
So, and Easter was this Sunday. So.
And now we get the nice April showers that come after it. Very excited, but lucky for us, like as we talked about earlier, it's going to be 72 and sunny in Cleveland for today as Jacob Junis takes the mound for that potential 5th pitcher spot. They had Brad Keller listed as a starter until yesterday when the announcement was made that Junis was going to be coming out. Very curious to see what he can do as the Royals continue the search for that 5th pitcher. Obviously, he is going to be the first one. This time around, I'm going to look up their starting lineup for you really quick that they got going, as first pitch is scheduled for little over 90 minutes away. And let's see. I know Hunter Dozier is back today after taking some BP yesterday with Mike Matheny. He was dealing with a day-to-day issue, but he is back in the lineup. So, starting from the top, Whit Merrifield. Someone say hello.
It was just Lily.
Oh, hi, Lily.
Hey, Lily.
Lillian. I love you, Lillian.
Hey. Okay.
It's the commercial.
You're
It's a
right.
script.
You're right. It's my script.
You know what's funny? I think that's for a Ring commercial too. Whit Merrifield starting the lineup today, top of the lineup. He's at second
Next
base.
time, Uncle Moore. Next time, I'll give you an 80. 80's the gift. You know, I gave it to you for my utilities. That was my 80 to you. But
is that what they call the gift?
Yeah. So aid.
Uh-huh.
Aid means
Like AIDE.
yeah. EID is I think how they spell it here. Aid.
Mhm.
Aid is like a holiday, right? Aid means holiday, but really in Persian New Year, when aid is like, okay, that's the Persian New Year. So AD, right? Easy word. AD is the Persian New Year gift, the money.
I love how you put the money symbols. Alina, thank you.
Oh, we got to make her laugh if she's in a work meeting.
We have to make her laugh. Hopefully you're still drinking on them Bud Lights.
You know, I had my first. What was that? Natty
Seltzer.
Was it a seltzer from her. She played this song I had never heard. Justin Bieber and Tyga. That for a few weeks. That's all I was.
Was that one of the Uno nights?
It wasn't Uno.
It wasn't Uno night. Man, we had some good times. Drinking games with her is a whole nother story. Hey,
all right, what's this lineup?
His lineup.
We heard Merrifield, and then we
the
got
lineup is Uncle Maury,
Lily.
Lillian, and Lena. They're all
Okay, that's our
chilling
top
today,
three.
watching
Okay.
the coffees on. All right. Now I
That
lost
song's called "Wait for a Minute," by the way.
it. We have to wait. We have to wait a minute now.
Yeah. Wait for a minute. It's honestly, it was kind of a catchy song. I tried to play it for Ethan. He was not a fan. He was not.
Terrell was singing all three parts the Peaches song today in the bathroom.
For
That was
the
killing me.
50th time.
He was going in it, especially on the Giveon part. He was really going in on it. March Madness bracket night. Okay, that was when we all made our brackets. Yes, remember we put them on the wall? That was the year, Duke. That was Zion's year when he lost to Michigan State. All right. For the Royals today, Whit Merrifield starting off. 3-hit Whit had 2 hits in his last.
3-hit Whit.
3-hit Whit. We're hoping for today. He had 2 hits and a home. One of them being a home run in Monday's game against Cleveland. Andrew Benintendi in left field. Carlos Santana first base. Salvador Perez hitting the cleanup at the catcher spot. Jorge Soler back in the DH after playing 1 round at right field on Monday. Hunter Dozier, as we said, back in the lineup in the 6th spot at third base. That means Hans Alberto, one of our favorite players, breakout players, is coming off the bench today.
All right.
Hanser Alberto, the non-invitee in February, signed to non-invitee roster spot. He literally was invited for a tryout and not guaranteed roster spot. This guy has a good spring training and now is on the Royals.
He's
26.
in a song, right? Third base, Alberto, forever, right? You're lost.
Kyle Isbell, left field. Michael A. Taylor hitting behind Isbell at center field. Nicky Lopez at short. And, of course, we said Jacob Junis on the mound for the Royals.
Taylor's making a name.
Found out he trained with Travis Kelce's trainers this offseason.
That's why we love him. I was wondering why we love him so much.
Baseball is full of stats. There's a barrel percentage, something like that.
How many barrels you drink?
How many barrels of gum you go through in the dugout? No, it's a stat. I think it's a more of a hit tracing stat where you're getting the contact spot on the bat, being the barrel.
That makes sense.
Had a higher percentage than Mike Trout last year.
Okay.
So he's
a World Series champion.
He is a World Series champion.
Actually, we got a few World Series champions on this roster, right?
Perez,
three starters, right?
Duffy.
I guess Duffy. That's you add all the other roles. I was just thinking of the lineup today. Perez,
Taylor, Soler with the Cubs. Yes.
Because we traded him after.
Yes, Soler with the Cubs. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Damn. They do got multiple World Series champions in that lineup. That's what you do. What do you do?
Maybe what you did. Young World Series champions, not aged World Series champions. And that's what. No, that really is what it
The
is.
opposite of what LeBron did last year with the Lakers.
Right, Taylor and Benintendi are under 30.
And a World Series appearance manager in Mike Matheny.
Okay.
Fun fact: when they take on the White Sox in the next series, not tomorrow, they play Cleveland. The weekend series against the White Sox. It'll be the first time that La Russa and Matheny are going up against each other's as managers, because Matheny came and replaced La Russa when he left St. Louis. But now we get to see them in a division rival. Dang, the Royals get some. They got, like I said, they get the White Sox. They get Toronto in the next two series. So those are two top teams in the AL.
How long is this
True test.
Cleveland series? Is it going to be 4 games?
Nope, 3 games. Stops tomorrow.
So you tell me this. Rangers, how were they supposed to be looking this year?
Oh, they're supposed to be a bottom team, unfortunately.
How was Cleveland supposed to be looking this year?
They were a top team until they got rid of some of their talent.
Right? Because I saw Rosenthal got injured. I remember watching the game last year.
I think these next 2 to 3 series is going to be very telling. 4 series actually, because they play White Sox, who's the AL favorite with the Twins, the Angels, because it's the Angels.
Do they play the Padres this year?
They do play.
Oh no,
They play
not
at
you.
home. They play the Rays.
What about the Angels? I hope it's not Otani. I really hope one of those guys are pitching.
They're 4-2 right now. They're in second place behind the
If Yu
Astros,
Darvish
the
or
cheaters.
Otani's pitching, we might have to buy $80 nosebleed ticket. I don't know.
Shane Bieber.
I was looking at tickets. Bieber, huh?
Yeah,
Justin
Shane
Bieber's
Bieber.
cousin.
Yeah. I think brother that was lost. I don't know.
I was looking at Royals tickets though. You know, I think it's expensive for a nosebleed, but it's still a fine price if it's not a nosebleed. Like that's how the ticket prices were looking.
I'm willing to pay good money to sit lower level for a game because I did.
Let's look
It's
at
probably
some
like
tickets.
$40-$50, I think, for the nosebleeds.
In fact, I think that Angels game is coming up. I was just interested in how much these tickets were, so I was looking.
Here's my thing with Royals ticketing. There's not prices for all the future games yet because they're waiting to see if they can expand their capacity.
Yeah,
But
you're
of course,
right.
for the ones that are coming up quick, they'll have prices for those. But if you look in June and July, those games have not yet had a set price. Now the Rangers, they did have full capacity for their opening day game against whoever they played, but we'll see what happens as far as the post effects of opening up that much. All-Star game is going to be in Denver, where the Rockies play. That was announced yesterday.
Okay.
After they decided to pick up and leave from Atlanta, they're moving it to Denver. All-Star game has no meaning. I more watch it for the home run derby and celebrity All-Star game, but
How much would you pay to be in the outfield plaza?
$25-$30.
Good. They got $20 for the Angels game on Tuesday night.
Trying to go see Mike Trout play? I haven't seen Mike Trout play before.
Shohei Ohtani, he might be there Tuesday.
You could see I guess he's a pitcher and batter, so he'll be in the lineup regardless.
Yes.
That's not bad. Parking pricing is usually $12.
Shoot, these tickets are. I mean, the big nosebleeds are like $10.
And that's an out of division team too. That's one team that only comes to
What's the
Kauffman once a year.
Konica Minolta Diamond Club table?
Oh, so those are like the middle section. So not the people who sit directly behind home plate, but it's like a few sections above it.
I mean, those are $100. I still feel like more usually that's
Because
real expensive.
Buffet.
Buffet?
I
What?
think it's either buffet or you get like a one-time walkthrough.
No, if it's buffet, then that is worth it.
Those are good seats.
That is worth it.
Dude, all I need is the $25 seats and the helmet brisket nachos. Baseball food, you can never compete against it. You'll never get the same at an NBA game. Then again, I've never been to an NBA or NHL game, but I just feel like
One day.
baseball is where the best food's at.
You can go to the Pepsi party porch.
Make it a party.
Yeah, there's some good. I mean, good tickets, right? $20 for that outfield plaza.
We'll talk after the show.
We'll talk after the show.
That's not a bad idea. Going to see the Angels on Tuesday, April the 13th. By then I'll be unemployed, so I don't have to worry. Look at you, clapping for the unemployed.
Join the club.
Let's see. But yeah, so the Royals are on at 12 o'clock today. Someone, former J School graduate, someone tweeted, "This press conference has taught me the J School apparently desperately needs to actually teach students how to ask questions at a presser." That is not good.
Are people not asking good questions?
I guess not. That's from one source that is at the presser right now. The Playmakers KU, the sports show that's put on by Media Crossroads at the J School, they had tweeted out Travis Goff on being a KU journalism grad, quote, "The skills I learned enduring the skills I learned enduring my time in journalism, I use every day." That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, it's okay.
What's on it? What's okay?
Michael Jordan didn't answer every question correctly.
No, yeah, of course. Stand up for the William Allen White J School. Whew. Let's see. Do they got the starting line? They got starting pitchers announced for that Angels game yet?
I'm glad you're looking at it. Because Tuesday's a nice day, right? We just got coffees on in the morning, Wednesday morning. We go, and you know what I realized is
Wednesday. You still got your college ID? We can go Wednesday for student night, even though it's a 110 game.
Right. Man, I'd rather pay $20. Wednesday the tickets are probably cheaper because it's 110.
Kids are still in school. Oh man,
shoot if you want to.
Eighth grade at my grade school. The eighth graders got to go to the Royals game every year. And so we went to a Detroit Royals game during the day, and it was just awesome, man. There was no one in the stands. Brian Bannister was on the mound for the Royals. I mean, this team was like in the dark.
Named after Bannister Road.
That's what I used to think too. It was just a great time. We got on the Jumbotron so many times. We had the Hy-Vee fans of the game where we got we got $100 gift card to Hy-Vee. So on top of going to the Royals game the next week, we used that Hy-Vee money for like a pizza, cake, just a big all-out party. Eighth grade was a very fun year. I wouldn't call it a joke year, but it kind of was for as many trips, how many field trips we went on, how many like high school prep field trips we went on. We were all just focused on just going to high school at that point. Now in high school, senior year is kind of, it's supposed to be fun, but it's also like serious because you're going to college, ACT stuff, all that. Sure. Did you take your AP classes senior year, or was that junior year?
I took an AP class senior, but took most of them junior year.
I never took an AP class, but I hear the scoring for those tests is like 1 through 5. Is that how it was?
That's how an AP test is.
Yeah.
1 through 5.
1 through 5.
You probably want a 3 if you want to get any type of college credit, but that's really on the downside of it. Most will do 4, and some, even the top schools, might just want to see an AP class, but they aren't going to give you credit.
There you go. I was on the outside looking in with the AP stuff. I was cool with it, though. I took my 21 ACT score and happily deposited into the University of Kansas.
We could wait if you want a promotion. If you want a Royals tote bag, we could wait till Saturday or Buck Night.
Buck Night!
On Fridays.
When's Tuesday's promotion you said?
There's no Tuesday promotion. So you want to see, hopefully, Ohtani. And I don't know, he hasn't started a pitching game yet.
Okay,
but
hasn't started yet.
But obviously he's been batting.
You know what? I scratched the Wednesday one because that's usually a rest day for some starters, especially at 110.
I think Tuesday 7:10 is perfect.
It's the prime time to go.
It's the prime time. Right, done with class, we do things, we go. And the great thing, the game's 3 hours, so you can drink as much as you want during, tailgate. You'll be fine at the end of the game.
You can drink as much as you
just
want.
Bring some bags, bring some, I don't know,
That's how you do it. You bring a cooler. You bring your lawn chairs. It's
I'm
It's
excited.
more simple.
I'm
than,
excited to get my heart broken that we aren't gonna go.
No,
we need to figure it out. We gotta go.
planning
We'll
that
see you
today.
guys Tuesday night.
Yeah, come to the K parking lot F.
Finally, Raj. Finally, this guy comes in 50 minutes late.
Hey, Buck Night's a good night. Although the Royals did kind of get in trouble one time for their as always, Braden, as always.
Always. That's why you give yourself 3 hours, right? And that's what the games are meant for.
It's not dollar beer. It's dollar.
There's a reason it's not dollar beer.
That would be crazy, man.
You enjoy the baseball games responsibly. Braden Shaw.
Do not pass out in the parking lot prior to the first pitch.
That would be crazy.
That'd be insane. You know what's going to be great too? Short bathroom lines. Short bathroom lines. Shorter lines at the restroom. Although I cheat. I always go through the exit door.
Really?
That's all you got to do. Chiefs games, you just wait for someone to walk out and you just
I mean, we have it lucky. The men's restroom, unless it's halftime, is usually not busy. Dime beer night in Cleveland. That sounds crazy. Is it
Googling this.
Cleveland that's doing the $10 tickets for a vaccine card?
Yes, it is. Yeah, you type in dime beer night, the first one that comes up is Turns Ugly. I can only imagine. Okay, this is back in like the 70s. It was on June 4th, 1974, 10-cent beer night. Interesting.
Yeah,
Various players, officials, and fans.
we
There was
heard
no
Raj and
there was-
Braden are going to be there Tuesday night.
Is that right?
Not a dime beer night, but maybe dime beer night.
They're going to be our drivers, the designated drivers. Congratulations. You finished at the bottom of at the brackets. You guys.
We have to congratulate.
Yeah. Our top three winners from that's Sean Miller was first place. My sister's roommate was second. Lily was third. Congratulations, Lily! You've earned yourself a weekend stay in Lawrence, Kansas, at the High Point Apartments. You know what's crazy though?
Woohoo!
None of us picked Baylor to win. No one had Baylor
No one
winning.
in that group picked Baylor. Another group we're in, 2 people picked Baylor to win.
Yes.
And I was lucky. That group, I think I was in the top half of the 10, so I got 5th. Our Coffee's On group, I think I was 10 out of 14. At least I wasn't last. That's what I say.
The winner of the other group, he was very quick to collect
Yes.
his money. It was like having a bookie text me the other day.
I already Venmo'd Terrell it, though, so
There you go.
I was maybe the only person to Venmo.
Yeah, he came knocking on my phone at 10 a.m. yesterday. Where's my money? And I said, oh, man, here you are.
Marty was close to winning, too.
Already was close. Two people who picked Baylor in that group
Which makes sense.
finished the top 2.
Which makes sense.
It did indeed. It does indeed. Whew.
Finally, the comments get popping once Uncle Maury comes in. We almost got a baseball lineup here.
What do you have?
We got Raj and Braden. You know, Braden, if someone gets one out, you're gonna be cleaning the bases, right? Hey, is that the term?
Should we assign each of them a position? I feel like right now. I feel Braden is our second baseman. Lena is our shortstop. Lily can be our pitcher or center field. Raj is our third baseman or first base. He's our corner infielder.
You said Braden's second baseman.
Yeah, Lena's
what?
shortstop. 'Cause-
Okay. No, not because she's short.
Oh, no, it's 100% why.
Did you say what is Raj? Third baseman.
He's our corner infielder, so first or third.
I like Raj as the third baseman.
Third baseman, all right.
Where we put in Braden? What'd you say?
Second base.
Oh,
He's
so
our
second shortstop, third base. Okay.
Uncle Maury's the skipper.
Okay.
I'm in right field drinking my beer.
All right. Where's Lily?
Pitcher.
Pitcher.
I feel like
okay. Big. That's a lot of stress, Lily. Hopefully you can handle it. And who's center field? Who's left field? She's gonna be. It's the game. I didn't mean it that way. Like
I said pitcher, center field.
She can win or lose the game. Center field's huge. Go shortstop number 8.
There you go. See?
right. You're right field.
Yep.
So am I left field? Isn't left field the
You
worst?
can be left. No, right field's the worst. Left
No.
field is where all the action is.
All right, Lily, we'll be hanging out, all 3 of us. Hey guys!
Right field is like
Hey!
I can pop a lawn chair in right field. I'm hanging out.
So that means we need a first baseman, whatever Lily isn't, center field or pitcher. You said pitcher, so we need a center field and we need a first baseman and we need a no, I do. You're better than I am. That's why you're not right or left field. And you put yourself at right field, but I'm not.
Oh, I have a lot of trust in Lily. That's why I put her at pitcher and
Okay.
center field.
So we need a center field, a first baseman, and
We need a catcher.
So whoever's going to comment next.
Those are the people. Uncle Maury, I don't. Well, could
You said he's
first
our
base?
skipper. Probably that's the better job.
Terrell can be catcher or first base. He's perfect for that.
Yeah, Terrell's catcher.
Oh man,
All right.
can't wait to eat lunch.
Yeah, I'm gonna have wings with no ranch.
Oh, I guess when we.
You don't know how much I love.
I'm so sorry,
and,
man.
And Wingstop has the best ranch.
And
Worst service, best ranch.
and those wings weren't saucy yesterday. It didn't look like
Oh, they were too saucy.
they were
They're
too
really-
saucy. That's good.
The
then.
barbecue ones are really saucy.
They always are making those saucy, man. Wingstop, man.
Did you eat all your ranch?
I don't think you would want it even if
Was
I
it
didn't.
bad?
No, it's double dipped.
Oh.
But it got down to like the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Very quick. Well, I got off the top of my head now. Passion Pit dropping tomorrow. We teased it kind of last week. It's going to be our Beyonce interview with our friend Jackie, the Beyonce fanatic. She comes on. So that podcast is going to be just talking about Queen Bey herself
Mm-hmm.
and talking music. She gives out her top 10. If she gives out her Beyonce playlists, Beyonce music videos. We asked her which 10 songs and 10 music videos would you show someone who lived under a rock and has never heard of Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
So we put that together. We played some lyrics games with her. There's a little funny in there on that one on my part. I slipped up on the lyrics a little bit. Then, of course, we just talk about Beyonce as a performer, entertainer. She gives her story. Yeah, you remember now. She gives her story.
It was hilarious. That one really got. I was just thinking. I was like,
Yeah, I don't know my Beyonce lyrics, and it shows in the podcast. She talks about her first concert experience, Beyonce performances. We talk about her as just as just a name alone, how that is. How she's made business off that. Just everything Beyonce for 50 minutes. If you guys want to listen to that, we're dropping that tomorrow. But yeah, that will be the next Passion Pit. So you expect to see that around 10 a.m. tomorrow. Coffee's On will be back on Friday. As always, we'll have another live show for you guys. Everybody good on like time and schedule. I feel like we've been doing this for a while.
yeah, it's on your guys' time because you guys are the ones who show up
Yeah,
to class, except Raj, who was late today.
no, it's fine.
It's like tardy tracker.
Armand and I were just talking about yesterday how we've been waking up at 8 a.m. recently.
Yeah, this morning I was 7:30. I was tweeting. I was sending you TikToks at
Yeah.
7.
It was
I've even played Xbox.
You did?
I played some FIFA. Yeah,
Nice.
I got Millwall in the championship. I've already won 3 games. I found my team. I sold players. I bought some players. Bought an Iranian player, and he's scoring every game.
There we go. Oh, I'm sure you're using him every time to score.
Well, he's really good. He's, I think, one of my top players. I got this young left wing. I forgot where he's from. He's from somewhere in Scandinavia. But, building this team, maybe headed to the Premier League. Maybe that's next.
That's the goal. That's always the goal.
Call me
Growth.
Ted Lasso.
Moving. He'll be gonna get you a fake mustache. But yeah,
I don't need fake. Give me 2 weeks.
days. Obviously, Monday, anytime Monday, Wednesday, Friday. What times, guys? If you guys like 10 a.m., we obviously won't change anything. But we rely on you guys as our viewers, and we appreciate and thank you guys for tuning in whenever you can. But we'd love to tune in. We'd love to do the show whenever it's fit for you guys in the morning, whenever you're free in the morning. But at 10 a.m. works for you guys. 10 a.m. works for us, as you know. So with that, of course, Passion Pit tomorrow. Coffee's On Friday. Trying to think. Anything else that I forgot? No? All right. Good to go.
We'll see you guys later.
We'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and thank you as always.
We'll talk about this Royals game.
We'll talk about this Royals game.